Hey guys, welcome back to this challenge video. I was challenged by my good friend Johnny from the channel Retro Raider. This was a challenge started by Retro Game Force. I'm gonna leave all the links down in the description box below. And then after Retro Game Force, Retros 2 continued this sort of chain videos here on YouTube. And now Johnny from Retro Raider just nominated me to continue this this challenge. The challenge consists in trading or replacing 5 of the original lineup, 5 games from the original lineup of the SEGA Mega Drive Mini, Genesis Mini, that really means something to each one of us. And at the end of this video I'm gonna take another YouTuber so that this challenge can continue. Yeah? So let's start. The first game that I would replace is Dr. Robotnik's Min Bean machine that I don't have a clue of what it's about. It says here that it's essentially a reskinned Puyo Puyo. Yeah, man, this game doesn't mean anything to me. So I would replace that one. For example, for this one that is running on my arcade cabinet, my main homemade arcade cabinet that runs everything. Man, it's running Toki. Yeah, I would replace Dr. Robotnik's for Toki, because Toki on the Mega Drive is quite different from the original arcade game, and there were a ton of ports back in 1990, if I'm not mistaken, for the Amiga, for the Commodore 64, for the Atari ST, even the Lynx had a freaking port of the arcade original. But the Mega Drive version is quite different from all those ports, and you know that nowadays, in relation to Toki, we have that amazing Toki for the Switch, that amazing Toki Retro Lector Edition. Yeah, but man, the Mega Drive version is still iconic, because it's different from all these ports and all these versions. So yeah, why not include Toki instead of the freaking Dr. Robotnik's, because it would make a lot more sense. Man, this lineup is packed with Sonic related games. Man, Sonic 1 and 2 are the most spectacular ones for me. So next one in line is another Sonic game. Man, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. What the hell is this game doing here, man? Sonic 1 and 2 is enough, okay? So, I would replace that one for one of my most fondly remembered games on the Mega Drive, and it's Streets of Rage, the very first one. Streets of Rage 2 is included, but Streets of Rage 1 is the most iconic for me, because it came bundled on the Mega Games 2 pack, and that included The Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage and Golden Axe. And when I bought this, I didn't have a clue of what Streets of Rage was about. Man, and I was totally addicted. As I told in my top 10 beat 'em up, top 16 beat 'em up games, Streets of Rage, the first one, is more iconic for me, and it would make a lot more sense than Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. Yeah. Now the third game that I would replace on the original lineup for the Mega Drive Mini, Genesis Mini. Man, it's this one. Dragon's freaking Fury. Man, this is for me one of those iconic games on the system. Dragon's Fury is freaking amazing, one of my favorite pinball games, and I would replace it for Virtua Fighter 2. What the hell is Virtua Fighter 2, a Saturn game, doing in this list? Man, it's incomprehensible for me. So I would replace man, Virtua Fighter 2 for Dragon's Fury. It really lacks a pinball game in this list. I could also mention, for instance, Psycho Pinball from Codemasters. Psycho Pinball is another amazing pinball game on the Mega Drive. Now this next one was also mentioned by Johnny from Retro Raider. So, man, I would replace Road Rash 2 Road Rash 2 for Mega Turrican. Man, this is one of the most amazing games on the freaking system, and man, the best Turrican game on the system, because as you know, Turrican 2 on the Amiga was known on the Mega Drive as Universal Soldier or something, yeah, similar to that. They had someone had the freaking license of the film from with Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and transformed Turrican 2 into Universal Soldier. Man, it's horrible, okay? What they did with Turrican 2 is freaking incomprehensible. So, Mega Turrican was later ported to the Commodore Amiga and known as Turrican 3, and later came out also on the SNES, yeah, as Super Turrican. And the game on the SNES, this game on the SNES is slightly different, because instead of the grappling hook on the SNES, we have a laser beam, yeah, if I recall correctly. I made an history video on this series, on this game particularly, and on Turrican 2 also. So, Mega Turrican is freaking amazing. The soundtrack by Chris Hulsbeck, man, it's amazing. I still prefer Turrican 2 and the soundtrack from Turrican 2, but Chris Hulsbeck's first venture onto the Mega Drive, making music on the Mega Drive, was with Mega Turrican, and it's freaking amazing. The Mega Drive version has slightly better graphics than the Amiga, but the audio on the Amiga is slightly better than this one. Yeah, so the graphics from the Mega Drive combined with the sound and with the music from the Commodore Amiga would make an amazing Turrican 3. Yeah, also known as Mega Turrican and Super Turrican. Yeah, the hell with Road Rash 2. Now for last, man, I would replace Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, a region exclusive, for another region exclusive that never came out in Europe. This is a Japanese and American release of Midnight Resistance. What an amazing game at the arcades, one of my favorite games at the arcades and on the Amiga and on the ZX Spectrum. Man, Midnight Resistance is freaking incredible, and I don't have a physical copy because it was a freaking region exclusive on Japan and on the United States. Man, I don't even comprehend why it never came out in Europe. Man, it's freaking odd and strange that this game, one of the best games, for me, one of the best games on the system, with a freaking incredible soundtrack. Probably my favorite soundtrack on all Mega Drive games is from Midnight Resistance. So guys, these were the 5 games that I would replace on the original lineup of those 42 games that are coming out on the SEGA Mega Drive, Genesis, Mini, and now I'm gonna pass the word to David from Deckard Games. David, man, I'm gonna wait for your video and for your preferences and what games would you replace on the original lineup of the SEGA Mega Drive Genesis Mini. Thank you so much for watching this small video, this challenge video, and I'll catch you all in my next one. Cheers!